Men will literally risk everything for her. It's because there's no one else like you. Like, you are the only you. You are the first and you're the last person that's exactly like you to leave and be on this planet. Hi guys, welcome to Clare's Kingdom, where we talk facts, walk fierce, and remind the world that well-behaved women rarely make history. Before we even think about attracting any man, we must learn to attract and seduce ourselves. And so many of us, I see so many women and young women online skipping this point or skipping this step and try going straight to actually seducing or attracting a man or men. We need to start from the basics. So when we actually look at the definition of attraction, to be attracted to something is for it to be appealing to the senses. So I want to ask you to ask yourself, when you look in the mirror, when you look at yourself inwards, are your senses happy and appreciative? Do you look at yourself in the mirror and think, wow, like I'm the most beautiful, intelligent, smartest, richest woman in the world, whatever you want that to be? But if you're not at this point, you don't need to worry, because I'm here to help you to get to this point. Yeah, it can still be a struggle sometimes, but it's all about progress. So point one is to become your most authentic and magnetic self. Magnetism starts with authenticity. Why is this? It's because there's no one else like you. Like, you are the only you. You are the first and you're the last person that's exactly like you to leave and be on this planet. So when I say become your most authentic and magnetic self, high value men are drawn to women who are fully in their power. Olivia Pope to be this powerful, confident, feminine, yet assertive, unapologetic woman. And she had no trouble attracting high value, powerful men. In fact, she attracted the most powerful man in the world, Fitzgerald Grant, the president of the United States, and that was in the show, right? And she was still able to attract even senators, leaders, just people in power, high value men, bachelors that were wanted. And even when Olivia rejected them or was detached or distanced herself, men were still drawn to her. And remember that, because Olivia was such an enigma. There's only one Olivia Pope. When you say Olivia Pope, everyone knows exactly who you're talking about. Distinguish yourself, find your sense of style, focus on deep self-awareness, self-love. So Olivia Pope commands attention not just because of her looks, but because she's unapologetically herself. She embraced the unique style, aesthetic, and she stood out by not following trends and stood by her own rules and her own values. So Olivia Pope did not please, she didn't people please, she had her own way of doing things. For example, when she answered the phone, she would just say what. So she distinguished herself. This is a small example, but she distinguished herself by how she carried and expressed herself, and she didn't change herself or feel like she had to shrink in the presence of certain people. Even when she was ostracized and disliked, she loved herself whether she had a man or not. And this is vital, because it's very easy to fall into the trap of only wanting yourself or loving yourself, or only investing in yourself, looking after yourself just because of a man or because of the presence of a man. But really and truly, to learn to love ourselves, to put effort in ourselves just because we think we're worthy, rather than just doing it for the attention of the male species. And men are so fickle, people are so fickle in general, so you trying to impress them by how you present yourself or how you act is just a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Olivia Pope being authentic meant that she did not need a man, but could want one. And this energy alone is magnetic. High value, powerful men. Just you knowing that with or without a man, you are good, you are beautiful, you are thriving, that makes you magnetic in itself, because you're not just out here throwing yourself to the first man that gives you attention, or just throwing yourself out to someone because they're famous or because they have money. No, you respect yourself no matter who the person is. You put yourself first. Okay, number 2, live in your purpose and independence. So powerful men don't want a woman who revolves around them. They want a woman who has a life of her own. So Olivia is deeply committed to her work at OPA, which makes her an equal, not a dependent. So pursue your goals, passions, and purpose, and this will set you apart from women who only seek status through men. You see on TikTok now or social media how there's this trend of finding a man to look after you. You need to have your own as well. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be more. If it's more than him, that's fine. Don't let him know that though. That's a story for another day. You don't want to be the type of woman that has nothing to do with her life, that you have no hobbies, no goals outside of that man, and then all you do is smother him, and the next thing, now he's trying to run away and find the next best chick. You don't want to be that girl, okay? So pursue your own goals, have your own businesses, get into work, whatever you're into. Just find something that you can call your own. And this doesn't mean that when you're interacting with high value men, you need to flaunt your wealth or achievements. Olivia never did that. Like, literally her presence alone told the world, I am somebody. I am a powerful woman. I am that girl. And it's funny because even today, I went out to a place where there was a lot of people, different types of people. And the night before, I decided to put rollers in my hair. You know, I straightened my hair, put rollers in my hair. I woke up this morning, I got myself together, put on my power straight, my trench coat. I love it. It really does give Olivia Pope vibes. Put on my trench coat, my heels, my tailor trousers, my makeup, made myself look nice and put together. And I went out into the world. And though I was around people, I was a thing about being magnetic. You want to be magnetic, but you don't want to come across as someone that's seeking attention. Like, you need to be so authentic in yourself. Like, I'm the type of person where in an environment I'll be so quiet, but then people are always so drawn to me. They'll always come up to me or try to start conversations with me. And so I went. Tell me why, guys. There's a high value man, high value, powerful man, quite popular in the area I was in. He physically chased me. Like, he was talking to a group of people. Like, he's always surrounded by groups of women or groups of people that want to talk to him. But he made sure that he went out of his way to make sure that he could interact with me. And I was not chasing. Sure, I was aware he was in the room, but my energy was focused on myself. I was focused on the people that I was with, and I never thought anything of it. And this man literally went out of his way to come and put himself in my reality, I guess. And it just shows that when you're unbothered, but you're just doing you, the world will naturally respond, so you don't have to do too much. In that sense, I was giving off put together glamorous Hollywood vibe. That's the vibe that was coming across. And it's not like I was covered in designer head to toe. No, it's not like I was flaunting my car or my wealth or my achievements. It was nothing like that. It was just an energy thing. And I think energy is so underestimated. Like, your energy can bring you from just being another character in the background to being the main character. Olivia built a brand business, and then she was Olivia Pope and Associates. So she was living in her purpose to be a crisis fixer or working in the White House. Okay, so Olivia knew when to choose herself or her business over Fitz or over a man. For example, when Fitz wanted her to become first lady the first time around and move in with him, she flat out told him that her people need her. At first she hesitated, but she eventually said to Fitz that her people need her business needs her. Again, this shows that she did not need Fitz. As much as she loved him or wanted him, she didn't need Fitz, which added to her power even more and her allure, because she didn't allow herself to be fully conquered or claimed, which differs from what we see a lot of women do today. And this is not coming from a place of judgment, guys, it's merely observation. We see a lot of women today who are just ready and willing to drop everything and hop on planes, cancel work, cancel plans, like, just to meet a man that hasn't even proved himself worthy of you. But I digress. Develop stability and self-sufficiency. So a high-value provider man is a great asset, but you should never rely solely on him. So Olivia Pope never needed a man to survive. She had her own firm, she had her own influence, her own money, and she was able to build financial, emotional, and mental stability so that she could remain powerful with or without a man. And I encourage everyone listening to this to be the same. I'm not saying you can't date a man of money, you can't expect him to pay for it. Like, yes, you can do all that, but also make sure that if it comes to it, you're able to walk away without being manipulated in any way. So how do you do this? Work on creating your own space, your own lifestyle, whether it's getting your license to drive, whether buying a car, your apartment, house. Don't be one of those women who would only plan to move out. Let me emphasize on this point. Don't be one of those women that only plan to move out just to get married, or you plan to move out if you find a man, or you would only move out if you're getting married. No. Or like don't be those women who only plan to move out their parents when they get married, or if there's a man in the picture, because while there's really nothing wrong with that, because honestly at the end of the day we all do what we have to do or what we want to do, but if you want to give high value woman put together, or just a high value person put together, sophisticated and independent, you need to work on these things, not to show off to a man or anything, but for yourself. This way, if or when a man is to enter the picture, he would have to really work, as you have already looked after yourself first. You've already given yourself everything you could ever need or what you could ever want. He would really have to work for you. And the question you would have to ask him, or just ask a man in general, is what can you give me that I haven't already given myself? And high value men are usually willing to rise to the challenge as Olivia Pope said and says, if you want me, earn me. And this also means that you're not going to be susceptible to financial blackmail. Not to mention that the freedom of having your own space, what that does for you in your mental health and in general. So exude feminine confidence and presence. Olivia's allure isn't just in what she does, it's in how she carries herself. She walks in any room with aura, confidence, class, and a quiet power. So cultivate your own poise. Be intentional by the way you speak and how you present yourself. High value men are very attracted to women who knows she's valuable and presents herself to the world as if she's valuable. Not this business of walking out the house half dressed, half effort, half whatever. And this doesn't necessarily mean you have to adapt a certain look, because like I said, Olivia Pope's magnetism came from the fact that she was unique. She found her own sense of style. Whatever your style is, it can literally be anything. As long as it's appropriate for what you want and who you are, then you'll attract the right people, or you'll be aligned with the right people, the right energy. So she's known as a beautiful, intelligent, assertive, smart woman. When you look at her, it could be easy to think, oh, she's a beautiful woman, like she's elegant, she's classy. But you can also see that she's intelligent, she's commanding, she's powerful, and she doesn't let either side take full control. She learns to balance it. It's easy to assume that Olivia Pope was her most powerful when operating in her masculine energy. But in reality, her divine feminine, especially her dark feminine energy, made her magnetic, influential, and always in control. She commanded attention effortlessly, using grace and composure rather than force. She read people and power dynamics instinctively and always staying ahead. And this is one thing I love and resonate about with Olivia Pope. She was always steps ahead. She was able to read people, trust her gut. And she always says her gut, she trusts her gut. Her gut tells her everything she needs to know. She felt deeply, but she never stayed down. So her resilience made her even more compelling. She also revealed just enough, which kept people intrigued and wanting more. This links to the siren effect of how men will literally risk everything for her, and they were drawn to her lure. So in the show, in Scandal, we see that men are drawn to her lure and presence. And in the show, she's actually called the Helen of Troy's, the face that launched 1,000 ships. And Fitz quite literally went to war for her. Like, he literally sent people to try and retrieve her, which shows the depth and the irrational behavior you can literally trigger in a high value man, or just a powerful man in general, when you're able to disarm him by your magnetism. And lastly, she knew when to be warm and when to be cold and when to strike, which means she was always in control. And Olivia did not chase power, she was power. And she effortlessly blended grace, influence, and strategy. So the last point of how to attract a high value man is to set boundaries and command respect. So one of Olivia's most defining traits is her refusal to settle for less than what she deserves. So attracting a high value man means that you need to know your worth. It means knowing your worth and enforcing your standards. Never be afraid to walk away from situations that don't align with you or your value, and this is what will make you irreplaceable. There were so many instances where Fitz would want Olivia to give something up, or when Edison would want to cross certain lines and Olivia's like, no. She puts her foot down and says no. Even no matter how much he tried to sweet talk her, no matter how much, Olivia knows when to set boundaries. And this is key because highly valued men find this very intriguing, because it means not just any man can have access to you. So guys, to wrap it all up, this approach ensures that you don't just attract high value men, but that you actually become a high value woman who is respected, cherished, and admired, just like the iconic Olivia Pope. And just like tending a garden, which is you are the garden. You make beautiful the garden of yourself, okay? And you attract butterflies. And one thing I love about this is that even if you don't attract the butterflies, even if they fly over, or even if they avoid you, whatever the case is, it's fine, because at least you have a beautiful garden. You just remember that only you know what it took to get where you are and where you're going to. So don't just let anyone have access to you, whether it be a friend or foe, be a man, whatever it is. Just stay safe, guys. And I hope this resonates with you and that you learn a thing or two. Comment down below if you have any agreements or disagreements, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I know you guys some have realized I've noticed the rebranding. I've changed the channel name and intro now. I'm just constantly evolving this platform, guys, so don't get too used to anything. But I just want to say thank you for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah.